It's very fun for me to find a piano that is unexpectedly good, and today I have an example of one of those. This piano that I found at the Piano Emporium in Asheville, North Carolina, is a Yamaha LU11 from 1986, and the LU11 was not one of Yamaha's best pianos. It's a little 43-inch upright from the year 1986, so it's not exactly new, but it has this beautiful, open, resonant sound that I would not expect from an entry-level, affordable Yamaha piano. It's very, very nice. I don't know if this is true for all LU11s. People online seem to say mean things about them. Maybe this is a diamond in the rough. It's one of the few really nice sounding ones, but I am enamored with this piano, and I absolutely love playing it, and so it is no wonder that it is sold. Another neat thing to notice about the design and visuals of this piano is the continental style. We have no front legs, there is nothing here. And that's just kind of, I don't know when people started making continental style pianos. I would assume it helps save costs. You don't have to make the front legs and the braces and all the stuff that goes under there. It probably helps make the piano more affordable, which is why the LU11 is a continental style piano. I think they look interesting. I kind of like the aesthetic of the ultra-modern, no front legs look, but it's a little, some people dislike it, and to each their own. While most Yamaha pianos are made in Japan, and the company, of course, is Japanese, this instrument was built in the state of Georgia, here in the United States. Yamaha was not the only Japanese manufacturer to put piano production in the United States. Kawai also did this, I believe, during the same era, and it's generally agreed between pianists and piano technicians alike that the American-made Yamahas and Kawais are not of the same quality as the Japanese-made pianos. The LU11 in particular is probably one of the best examples of that. This was a very budget-friendly option for Yamaha at the time. It was, I believe, their cheapest piano at the time. When you look at this piano, there are a couple of slight giveaways. Just from looking at it, you can tell that this was a budget-friendly piano. One of those being that, remember, it was made in 1986, and we look down here at the pedals, and we only find 2 of them. This would have been commonplace in, say, 1886, but for 1986, that's kind of unusual, and so they probably removed that middle pedal because, 1, nobody uses it, and 2, it's cost-saving. I would presume that's why they did that. If you look at the back side of the piano where the soundboard is, you can see that there are also no vertical braces on the back of the piano. These are there for stability reasons. I would assume that removing them would also help save weight. Maybe Yamaha was going for a sports car vibe with this piano. Of course, I'm joking with that. But you can tell that there are some corners being cut with this piano. However, that does not seem to affect the tone of this piano. It has a wonderful, beautiful sound, a very clear, crisp tone that is a joy to play. The action feels light and fluid and quick and responsive, and it is just wonderful to play. The action on this piano is very light, it's delicate, it's fluid, it's immensely fun to play. A budget piano shouldn't feel this good, and yet it does. And the tone of this piano as well is very nice. The only real thing that doesn't sound great on it is the bass end, and that's because any upright piano of this size is going to have a less than ideal bass just because of the way upright pianos work. Let's take a listen to the bass end of it. So the bass end is fine, it's adequate, but where this piano really shines, I think, is in the mid-range and the treble. It has this beautiful, clear sound, especially up in the upper treble ranges where it becomes incredibly resonant. This piano has so much beautiful, sympathetic resonance that it's just a joy to play up in the treble range of the piano.
This piano's tone just kind of works well for pieces like that.
This piano is really clean on both the inside and the outside. The satin finish on this piano is really pretty, and I like it. It looks great. I don't know if it has been refinished. It maybe has been. I can see on the inside there are some, and also here on the side of the piano, there are some spots where it looks high gloss or a higher gloss, so maybe someone has refinished the piano to give it the satin look. Either way, it looks great, and I absolutely love it. It's quite a pretty piano in here. The green felt that you can see on top of the piano is an interesting vibe. It's giving C. Bechstein and not Yamaha, which is, I don't know when they used this green felt on their pianos, but it's kind of neat. On the inside of the piano, it is also very clean. You can see that, of course, it's a new piano being sold in the piano store, so of course it's going to be of a different caliber than the thrift store pianos I've been reviewing. It is really clean in here. The hammers have almost no wear. Someone's probably gone over and reshaped them a little bit, which helps it sound better and look better in here. And it is very clean and what you would expect to see in a piano being sold at a piano store. Sitting next to the LU11 is a modern B1 that was made in the year 2020, and there's so much similarities between these two pianos that I thought it would be neat to do a brief comparison between the two. They are the same height. If you look at the back of the piano, you can see that the ribs on the soundboard are in the exact same place, and it's the exact same shape. Even the handles on the back of the piano are the exact same shape. The only difference is that the B1 does have those vertical posts on it, unlike the LU11. The inside of the piano also, to my novice eyes, appears to more or less be identical. The harp looks the same. Even the badging is in the exact same place on the harp. The only real difference in visuals between the two pianos is that this one is high gloss, and it also has a third pedal. The middle pedal is a practice pedal, so when you press it and you kick it over to the left, it stays depressed, and there is a felt cloth that comes in between the hammers and the strings to dampen the sound and just make everything very quiet and lush. It's a kind of a neat sound, honestly, and it's very effective for practicing in apartments or late at night when you don't want to wake the children or your wife or whatever. The real differences between these two pianos come when you actually sit down and play them. They have completely different personalities. The B1 has a much darker, almost richer tone. It's very different from the LU11. The bass end, I think, is probably equivalent on both of those pianos. I did play a couple of bass notes on the LU11, so I'll play a couple of them here on the B1. There's also the fire breather piece that uses those low bass notes too. I think both of these pianos are pretty equivalent in terms of their bass. I almost want to say this one is a little bit better, but again, it is a short upright piano. There is a physical limit to how good the bass strings can sound on a piano like this, and I think they're both pretty on par. real difference to me in between these two pianos is not just the tone, but the action. That's where these two pianos are a world apart. The LU11 has a light, delicate, quick, responsive action that is a joy to play, and it works especially well with fast runs like the Haydn E-flat Sonata that I've been playing. This piano, not so much. It does have a good action, and it is responsive, but it's much, much heavier. This piano is so much more difficult to play because the action is like so heavy and just thick, and I don't know. It would be a very good practice piano to build up your endurance. A piano like this certainly has its role and point in the world. And again, it's one that I wouldn't mind having in the music studio, you know, in the practice room, whatever. But I find it to be less fun to play, less enjoyable to play than the LU11. The LU11 just has more soul, more personality to me. Maybe that's just because it's old, and I know that it's old, and I know that it's been around, and it's aged beautifully. But to me, between the two, I personally prefer the LU11. Not that this is a bad piano, it is an adequate piano by all means, and it does sound quite nice. But between the two, I personally prefer the LU11. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video about the little piano that could. For a budget-friendly, entry-level piano that's 39 years old, it's almost turning 40, it plays and looks and sounds way better than it should. I love the tone, I love the action, it feels wonderful, and it looks cute to boot. So kudos to the new owner, I really hope you enjoy this piano. This is the type of piano that I wouldn't mind having in my little cozy music studio someday. Thank you very much to the folks here at the Piano Emporium for letting me come here and make these videos. It's been quite the pleasant experience. And also thank you to the viewer for watching and making these videos possible in a way. I have many other videos on my channel about strange pianos in unusual places, as well as more normal ones like this. Although even this one is still rather interesting. So, at least it is to me. Hopefully you found it to be interesting as well. Hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll go check out some of my other videos and maybe subscribe. I'll see you around.